Now, just one quick point about the statistical impact of Gautrain in rands and cents. According to the study, it indicates that for every R1 spent on Gautrain, R1.72 has been added to the Gauteng economy. So this is a statistical confirmation of, in real terms, what is the impact. And of course, in terms of this study conducted, we continue to reduce unemployment and create jobs. And for every 10 million spent on construction work, 45 jobs were supported directly via supply chain and wage spent. And this will also impact, probably include even from subcontracting point of view and all levels of construction activities. Now, with respect to jobs, and you know that in our province, I think according to the Stats SA last figures, our unemployment rate is around 28%, 28, I think 0.7 or 8%. So we have a high rate of unemployment. And when you look at just the positive impact of Gautrain, approximately 3,800 direct jobs were created during the construction phase, most importantly for women, and 3,000 jobs during operation. Now, of course, the Gautrain also has created a number of jobs for the youth. And of course, we have got 5,800 direct jobs during operations. And we had 20,300 jobs, direct jobs for the youth, just for that sector. And as many people will appreciate, unemployment affects young people. And that's why we had to dissect this and do it on how does it impact young people. Approximately 29,900 direct jobs were created during construction for historically disadvantaged individuals, and 10,100 jobs for historically disadvantaged people during operations. Now, let me also just inform you that Gautrain has a significant community development program support with 37.5 million having been committed to organizations for 2017 to 2021 financial year. Now, let me also just indicate that Gautrain has also transformed commuter behavior. Just over 98 meter trips have been taken during Gautrain's lifetime, and this has resulted in 78 rands contribution to the economy per trip. And of course, these benefits include a 5 rands reduction in fatal accidents and 4 savings in CO2 emissions, and an average of 22 minutes, which saves 69 rands. And I'll come back to this point. This is a very, very important point. I'm coming back to it. Now, the project has also reinforced development nodes in our province. 59% of all office development activity in major Gauteng nodes is located around Gautrain stations. This is proof that the project is attracting investment and integrating the region and its communities. It has further changed the perceptions and attracting international investment. So the impact of Gautrain is not just on our province and the national space economy. It is making an impact globally, and it is also regarded as best practice, international benchmark on how it operates. Now, this proof, over 44 billion of foreign direct investment into Gautrain was between 2013 and 2016 was due to Gautrain. And after 7 years of operation, close to 97 million passenger trips were made And of course, the Gauteng government has, beyond doubt, demonstrated that the face of public transport can be radically changed using smart modes of transport, such as Gautrain. Now, a modern and efficient public transport system such as Gautrain has had a positive impact to the provincial economy, alleviated traffic congestion, and rejuvenated inner cities such as Johannesburg and Tshwane. It has created jobs and helped to re-establish the rail sector in our province. Now, let me come to just conclude, Jack, by sharing with them 2 points I want to raise. One is just what has been my experience of riding Gautrain. Now, I was deeply delighted and very much impressed by riding on Gautrain. This was a positive experience for me. It was quite good. I must also confess that in my life, Jack, I've used Gautrain once. Before, to the only once, I must confess, it was during the time when I was still a public servant, and I was running a project at Gautrain. And it's been quite some time. But let me say the following. Today I felt like I've never used Gautrain, and I blame myself. Why have I denied myself over the years that good experience? The quality of service, end to end, everywhere I went, the quality of service is exceptionally good. Let me give you an example of the train stations where I was here and in Centurion. I was impressed by just the discipline that I observed around security officers or security staff. Their level of focus, dedication, just the way they do their work, and the way they interact with members of the public. They are dressed very identified, very clear. Security visibility is exceptionally. I had an opportunity to interact with the train drivers. Many of them young, from historically disadvantaged communities. And their knowledge of, because when I was writing, I also had the opportunity to ask them questions. Now, many of you will know that this department I'm in is my third infrastructure department, so I've been in the infrastructure space. I've actually completed infrastructure departments. I've been at Human Settlement, Department of Infrastructure Development. Now I'm here. I don't think there's still any other. I think I've exhausted all the infrastructure departments. I don't know if, but what I'd like to say to you is when I was with the drivers, the train drivers, one of the fundamental questions I was interested in was the infrastructure that supports Gautrain and their knowledge of the infrastructure system and the capabilities that have been invested on the system was quite amazing. And how the technology inside the train links with the technology embedded on the rail system. That was quite amazing how they were explaining it. And pointing out to issues of signals, how they receive the signals, how the train is built in such a way that automatically, if there are risks, it adapts and adjusts, and it's able to manage the risk through the technology it has. So safety, very much important. I think most people, when they ride Gautrain and pay the price, they look at paying for riding, but there's massive technology relating to safety and saving lives. And that's very much important. So the quality of technology, I also got an explanation about the red line for the oncoming when the trains meet. And I got to understand the spaces in between and why that is important to protect life. So Gautrain is built around security of the people in all respects, to manage not just comfort and good experience, but protecting lives of people. That's the whole philosophy of what I've seen. I might have not understood it. I'm still new, Jack, if I didn't understand it, so you'll forgive me. But what I found exceptionally good is just how the technology is designed, operated, managed, maintained to make sure that people are safe, to avoid accident, to avoid threat to life, to avoid risks to people, to the passengers. I was very much privileged to go to, it's called, the Operation Center?
Operating Control Center.
The control center. When I was at DID, one of the things I tried to do there was to use smart technologies to deliver infrastructure. Use of the drone, we had built an infrastructure nerve center fitted with modern technologies, camera room and all that. I found a very beautiful operation control center there with good cameras fitted there. But what was amazing for me is the capabilities inside. A center that monitors the every minute activities of the train.